begin to use your breath to help you drop in through the layers, through the external layers and the internal layers. Allowing yourself to be more and more present with what is. Let's draw your hands in front of your heart, rub your hands together. Create some heat and then push your thumbs into your heart, heart into your thumb, shoulders soft. We're going to tune in this morning with the Anusara invocation. The Anusara invocation is about the focus I want us to take on is this aspect of always present no matter what. There's this peacefulness that we are a part of. It surrounds us always, and it's really intelligent. We've been kind of raised to push this part of ourself away. So today I want you to feel into the intelligence and the wholeness that your body is. Take a full breath in. Hold your breath at the top and listen. Exhale, and then we'll chant. We'll do one Om together first. Om Namah Shivaya Gurave Sachitananda Murtaye Nishprapanchaya Shantaya Niralambaya Tejase. Really nice and release. Bring your hands back down to your knees. Your eyes blink open. Okay, let's come to a table. So over your hands and your knees. So if you're watching the recording, we're focusing on developing glute strength as an experiment to see if it helps one of the students. This is like a one-on-one session that you're going to be a part of. Okay. So as a refresher, the hips are up here, the hip bone, your ilium bone, right? You know this, I'm just pointing it out to you. And then you have your big glute that attaches way back by your sacrum, and it goes all the way down over your bum. And then you have the medius and the minus, which are more of the sides. So I'm thinking for this issue is probably more of the side glute than the back of the glute, since you're getting the pain on the side. So whenever we engage the glute and pull the attachment sites towards each other, the muscle is going to engage. So if I lift my hip up, this is going to engage. Or if my thighs stay where they are and I come up like this, my butt's going to engage. Okay, so in your child's pose, feel your glutes spreading away from each other as you take the attachment sites on the thigh and the attachment sites on the pelvis and move them further away from each other. As you inhale, push into your hands and round up like a cat. And as you exhale, sit bones back, sit back towards child's pose. Inhale, round forward. Exhale, sit bones, untuck and glide back, child's. Moving forward and back. The next time you come to table, stay here. Push into your right hand and lift your left elbow up to the sky. And then push your right hand or your left hand down. I think I said the side wrong. Push your left hand down, and from the push of your chest to the left hand, lift your right elbow up. And then switch sides again, right hand down as you do a little twist and push. You even let your left hand go all up to the sky. And come back down. And again, push to the left hand, right hand comes all the way up. This time, we're gonna take the right hand between the left hand and the left knee for threaded needle. Back of the right hand, back of the right shoulder, outer right ear comes down towards or to the floor. Go onto your left hand, elbow bent, push into your left fingertips to integrate your left shoulder into the shoulder socket. Chest turns to the right. You can even push the back of your right arm into the floor, giving you more leverage to twist to the left. I think I said right, I meant left. And while you're doing that in the upper body, turn your hips towards the right. Maybe even think about pushing your right knee down and out to the right side. Now we're going to go into a twisting table in our child's pose. So send your hips back to your heels. Your arms will scooch a little bit closer to your knees, but you'll still be in the twisted child or twisted table arms. Just sitting more further back into child's pose. You begin your ujjayi breath, tightening the back of the throat. So as you breathe in and out through your nose, you hear that little whisper. Now stay in this twisted child, but we're gonna square off the chest. So the chest is gonna turn to the right, so both shoulders face down, and stretch your left arm forward. So this will be like a deltoid stretch on the right side, outer shoulder stretch in child's pose. Really nice. Unwind your right arm, stretch it forward, and then as you inhale, roll back up to table. Push through the right hand, left hand's gonna thread through. Right hand and right knee, come onto your right fingertips. Use your arms to turn your chest up and to the right. Throat pulls back a little bit, and then turn your hips slightly to the left. Maybe thinking about pushing your thighs away from each other as you turn your hips to the left. Belly button glides a little bit to the left, so you're getting two twists in opposite directions. As you inhale, twist a little bit deeper, both directions, and then lower your bum back into twisted child's pose. Moving into the deltoid stretch, turn your chest towards the left, squaring your shoulders off to the floor, right arm walks forward. Forehead can rest on the floor. As you inhale, see if you can breathe all the way in and wide into your sitting bones. It feels like the breath comes down into your pelvis and helps push your hips wide. And on that same in-breath, see if you can breathe up into your shoulders and breathe your shoulders wide. Exhaling, letting your body fall towards the floor, softening. Really nice. Unwind your left arm forward. Roll up over your hands through table. Tuck your toes, downward facing dog. In your downward facing dog, bicycle out the legs. And look forward and take lots of steps forward. Lots of little baby steps forward, so you're walking slowly into your forward fold. Widen your feet a little bit, soften your knees, forward fold. Do 3 breaths here, and as you exhale, let the breath fall out through your mouth like a sigh. So deep breath in. Great, walk your hands up to the top of your thighs and stretch your chest forward, halfway up. Push your thighs back as you stretch your spine forward. Then take your hands on your hips, belly pulls into your spine, and from your hips come all the way up. Readjust my Nice. So we'll do the 3 half sun salutations. Inhale, stretch up towards the sky. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, lengthen, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, push through your feet. Come all the way up and stretch. Exhale, hands pull through heart center. Inhale, reach up. Root down through your feet as you lengthen through the ceiling. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, let the breath carry you halfway forward. Exhale, belly lifts, fold back down. From your hips, actually, let's do this one. Take your hands to your hips. Look forward until your spine feels more straight. And then once your spine feels more straight, use your glute muscles to pull you upright. Once you get all the way right upright, stretch your arms up. Exhale, hands to heart center. We'll do it like that one more time. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway. Think about getting a nice long spine, spreading the sitting bones. Exhale, forward fold. Push through your toes and your 4 corners of each foot, hands to your hips. With your hands on your hips, use your thumbs on your low back and notice how your back is rounded. Look forward enough for that round to come out of your low back, and that's when the hips are loaded to take you up. Inhale, reach up. Keep stretching up, right hand holds left wrist. Lean your hips to the left a little bit as you push through your left foot. Stretch your hands to the right. Come back up through center. Switch your hands. Left hand holds your right wrist. Pull up and over to the left. Push down through your right heel. And come back up. Exhale, hands through heart center. Very nice. Put one hand on the side of each hip. And then rock your hips from one side to the other. And feel how the head of the femur bone can pop out, become unintegrated. Can you feel a difference between one hip to the other? Gina, can you feel that it goes on your right side? It pops out more than your left? Yeah. So everyone will have, my sister called it mall hip growing up. So I always call it mall hip, or my sister would go to the mall and I'd always see people standing like this. So I've since called it mall hip. But everyone will have a side and our bodies will get imbalanced from this weird hip. So do your little small hip. I'm relaxing, having a conversation, and like most patterns, I don't realize it's damaging, but it actually is. And now instead of trying to pull it in from the hip, try to push down through your foot, have your hand there so you can notice what happens. Just push through your right foot. So it goes down when we push. It goes in when we push. It gets integrated when we push in. Okay, let's do it on the left side too. So let the left hip stick out and then push through the left foot, it goes in. Through the left foot, pushing down, it goes in. Through the foot down, it goes in. Now let's do it one more time, standing on the right foot, push into the right foot so the right hip is in, float the left foot up. Hands on your hips. We're going to hinge a little bit forward. We're going to hinge a
A little bit forward, and then come back up. Hinge a little bit forward. Squeeze the glute, come back up. Let's do it regular. So both feet down, hands on your hips, hinge halfway forward. And most important is that you have that little curve in your low back. Squeeze your glutes and then pull yourself upright. One more time, hinge, squeeze, come up. Now to the left side. Push into your left foot, left hip comes down. Same idea as standing, but now we're balancing. This is also my challenging foot, so I'm gonna use my cane. Hinge halfway down. Squeeze the left glute, push, come upright. Halfway down. Squeeze, come upright. Really nice, let's do the right one. Right foot down, left foot up. Hinge forward. Pause, squeeze the glute, step back, lunge. Inhale, stretch your arms up to the sky, breathe. And rock around, forward and back, and find your weight. In here, poke your right glute with your finger and notice if it's engaged. Poke the back of it, so kind of testing glute major. The other arm can be up or down. And then come over and touch the side. And it takes a lot of touching to figure it out, so we'll have to keep touching it. As you exhale, plant your hands, step back, downward facing dog. In your downward facing dog, little bend in your knees, think about spreading your hips up and apart. Inhale, come forward to plank. Exhale, lower down, chaturanga. Inhale, curl cobra. Pull yourself long. Think about engaging your glutes in this pose and pushing out through your legs and pull through the spine. Keep pulling through your spine as you lower back down. Flip your toes, downward facing dog. In your down dog, look forward, walk your feet, lots of little steps forward. If you're standing forward fold, take your hands to your hips, a little bend in your knees, look forward enough with your eyes until you come up halfway, and then push, come all the way up, stretch up. Exhale, hands through heart center. From your pelvis, push into your left foot, right knee comes up, hinge forward for a variation of Virabhadrasana 3. And then step back into your lunge. And then to do the same thing, notice how it compares to the left glute, checking those same spots. As you exhale, plant your hands. Step back to plank, lower down, chaturanga. Inhale, curl cobra. Exhale, keep pulling your spine forward as you lower down. Back to your belly, child's pose. Roll over to your side or maybe spin across of your mat so you can look at me. We can be doing it together. We're gonna do these like Jane Fonda clam shells. The knees parallel to some edge of your mat or perpendicular to others. Oh, the sunshine looks so pretty. And then hand on your top hip. Let's do the left glute first, just so we can experiment with the non-upset side. So left hand on the left hip where that top of the hip bone comes down to your outer hip. That's kind of what you're measuring. So we're gonna be pulling the lower attachment side on the thigh up to the top one by lifting the knee up. Lift your knee up and feel how they kind of squeeze together and then lower it. Lift it up, squeeze it together, lower. Trying to remember that at the top of the lift to squeeze the glute. And then at the top, we'll do a few little ones. At the very top, squeeze it and release. Squeeze it and release. Squeeze it and release. Nice, now straighten the whole leg. We're gonna turn the big toe down a little bit more and little pulses at the top. Actually, let's bring it all the way down and then lift it up. Maybe not all the way down. Can you feel if you take your hand to your hip and then you bring your toe all the way down, it kind of emulates that same little push out. So instead of going all the way down, stop at about before it kind of pops out. And same thing, try to lift it up from the squeeze of the glute and then at the top, squeeze it again. Really nice. Okay, let's do a quad stretch here. Reach back for your foot. Push out through the knee. And over here, let's do the hamstring stretch too. So reach up for your foot. Always put these clothes on and then realize they're not like the best yoga clothes. Really nice and release. Do you remember this? We're not going to do this one now, but do you remember when we floss this side of the hip by pushing down the knee as the knee tries to push up? Actually, let's do a few of these. So push the knee down as the knee pushes up. And see if you can keep pushing the knee down while the knee goes up and down. So that might be a good one for you to be trying to do every day because it's flossing the fascia and it's also engaging the outer hip. So that might be a one to do. Okay, let's come up and spin around. Really nice. So we have our outer glutes. We're going to squeeze the glute to lift the knee and then squeeze at the top and then lower. One of the things I was planning on talking about today was this view that we have. We've had it for about 300 years. It's the like Newtonian perspective or paradigm. And in this paradigm, the way we understand what something is by breaking it down to its tiniest parts. And by studying the smallness of the things, it gives us the idea of what the big picture is. So it's like, if we know what all the ingredients are, we'll know what the dish is going to be, kind of thing. Which is a lot different than being with the wholeness that you are, because there's a certain kind of magic that comes along with the wholeness that you lose when you're only looking at the parts. That's funny now, as we're like, let's tackle this one part. I have little pulses at the top. Are you getting a burn? Okay, once we get the burn, we don't want to overdo it. Once we get the burn, let's do a few more little pulses at the very top. And then we'll open our leg and we'll do a few leg raises. In this Newtonian viewpoint, when they were first starting to research like the body and how it works and the mind, they even separated that, and the church got the soul And psychologists got the mind, and doctors got the biochemistry, and therapists got the soft tissue, but it was all separate, and now we're trying to bring it together. Okay, hold. Bend your knee, quad stretch. Really nice, and then reach up for your foot, straighten your leg. Nice. And then bend your knee again. We'll do a few of those flosses. When I do this flossing, I'll also extend my leg as I work into it. So when this leg straightens, it pulls at different muscles around the hip. So something for you to experiment with. Really nice, and come all the way up. Now stretch your legs forward. Okay, really nice. Cross your legs, tuck your toes, downward facing dog. In your down dog, if you inhale, stretch your right leg up to the sky. Bend your knee and open your right hip. Step your right foot forward between your hands and come up, lunge. Hands to your hips. Now push into the glute again and see if it feels more turned on with your finger. And then from our lunge, we're gonna press all the way up, standing balance. From here, warrior three, hinge halfway forward. And then we're gonna open up Ardha Chandrasana. So the right fingertips can come to the floor or a block. And then slowly step back, second warrior pose. Really nice reverse warrior. Second warrior pose. Poke the glute here. Think about pulling your knee slightly out. And then downward facing dog. Inhale, left leg up to the sky. Bend the knee, open the hip. Step the left foot forward between the hands. Strong feet. See if you can take your hands to your hips maybe and then use your glutes to come up. Really nice. Stretch your arms up. And poke your left glute, see if it's changed at all. And then from here, we're gonna push into the left foot so much the spine draws up. Standing balance. And from here, we're gonna tip it back forward. Virabhadrasana 3. Nice. Ardha Chandrasana, left fingertips go down. One full roller. And then step back, second warrior pose. Take some deep breaths in warrior two and see if you can take in the wholeness of the pose. Not as much the parts, but the whole thing. Not just the body, but the emotions, the thoughts, the breath, this whole experience. Reverse warrior, Push the left heel down and forward. Exhale, plant your hands, step back, downward facing dog. In your down dog, inhale, come forward to plank. Exhale, lower down, chaturanga. Inhale, curl cobra. Exhale, downward facing dog. And one more round of standing poses, I think. Inhale, right leg up to the sky. Open the right hip. Step your right foot forward between your hands. Fingertips on the floor, lengthen your spine forward, stretch your booty back, and take your hands to your hips. And from your right glute, push through your heel, lift your spine. Really nice. Open up, second warrior pose. Reverse warrior, right heel pushes down and away. Exhale, right elbow to the thigh. Stretch your left arm up and over. Inhale, back up through second warrior pose. Pivot both of your feet to the left. Bow forward, Uttanasana, or wide leg forward fold. Bend your left knee over your ankle. Right leg stays straight. Little bend in your right knee. Think about pushing your thighs back. Stay here or come up onto the ball of your left foot. Sit back towards your left heel and spin your right toes up for Skandasana. Gaze forward. We're going to walk ourselves and push up to Ardha Chandrasana. Half moon pose. Maybe you block under your right hand. Little bend in your right knee. Squeeze your right glute and stretch up. Maybe with the left hand. From here, bend your back knee, standing half moon with the quad stretch. Release your back foot, push into your right foot, come all the way up, standing balance. Nice, now we're gonna take the left leg and circle it around the body. Left foot will come to the outside of on the floor, outside the right foot for a side stretch to the right. And then we're gonna do this. We did this like a month ago, I think. We're gonna shift onto the sole of the left foot and come into eagle pose. So the right toes can be on the floor or the foot can lift. Maybe squeeze in at the ankles, and then the right arm goes under left. Nice, release your feet standing, keep your eagle arms. So both feet on the floor. I'm gonna lower down so you can see what I'm doing, but you stay upright. So a way to floss the shoulders is you adduct the arms out to the side, but like in the eagle arms, as you move the arms up and down. All right, inhale, release your arms, stretch up. Exhale, standing forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, plant your hands, step back, downward facing dog. And into your knees, your feet, walk it out. Notice how you're feeling. Feel your breath. from yesterday, being present with whatever picture we're with, even if it might be one of the moments might not be our favorite. Okay, second side, inhale, left leg sweeps up to the sky, open your hips to the left. Exhale, step your left foot forward. Long spine, high runner's lunge. Tone your tummy, take your hands to your hips and push through your feet, come on up, lunge. Really nice, stretch up. Push into your left foot, press up, standing balance. And warrior three. This side might be a little bit different than last side. I think we'll hit all the same things though. Left hand down, half moon. And then slowly step back, second warrior pose. Reverse warrior. Inhale, let the breath carry you up. Left elbow to your thigh. Stretch and open, modified Parsvakonasana. Inhale, back, second warrior pose. Straighten your front leg. Turn all of your toes to the left or to the right. Wide leg forward fold, and then bend into your right knee, Skandasana prep. Think about pushing down through the right heel. Little bend in the left knee, the bum pushes to the left and widens. Stay here or lift up onto the ball of the right foot and lower all the way down into Skandasana. And then walking yourself over, pushing yourself up, Ardha Chandrasana. Left foot down, left hand down. Moving into your quad stretch. Release the back foot, press into your left foot, come all the way up and balance. Really nice. Now we're going to sweep the right leg around. Right foot will come wide of the left foot. Arms up, side stretch to the left. Left hand pulling your right wrist up and over to the left. Push through the left heel. Then shifting your weight onto your right foot. Left knee bends over the right knee, eagle arms. Oops, left arm over, under. Left arm under, sorry about the falls. Then keep your arms crossed, come up to standing. And then open, up and down, pushing the arms out. Really nice, open the arms up like a cactus. A little bend in the knees. Sit bones can wiggle, so there's some freedom. And imagine you can pull yourself up with a chin-up bar and open up through your heart. It's kind of wriggle and move, and opening up this front plane of the body that tends to be really restricted. Really nice. And then let's come on to, let's come down onto our bum. And lift your feet up, hands behind your back, palms facing forward. Just rocking from one glute to the other. And see if you can do that as you turn into a circle. How fun is this? Getting wild, take it in the other direction. Okay, so now let's do pigeon left knee forward to start with. Squeeze the knees towards each other so the inner thighs are engaged, and then come down onto your forearms. And I would think about staying fairly engaged. So everybody is different. Your body, speaking to just the person on the other line here, is extra bendy. So being aware of keeping the balance between stretch and mobility, or strength and mobility. I was just talking to another friend of mine in Germany, and she was describing a similar weird hip problem, different, but this hip problem. And she's like, I think the answer is like 10 minutes in pigeon a day. I was like, no, add muscle. Even your back hip, your right knee, you could focus on pushing your knee down so you get the hip to lift. Sometimes I'll take my back foot in some range of movement. I'll turn around so you can kind of see what I'm doing. So I push down with my back knee, I can turn it in and out. And you can floss a little bit of the front of the quad with some of this engagement and then movement. In your pigeon, with the back knee bend, let's come up onto your right hand and then reach around with your left hand. Just get off of my clothes for the quad stretch. Maybe come down to your forearm. And then Gina, can you come down onto your right forearm? Does that feel okay? Yeah. Throat back. You could also make your left hand strong and then kick, or your left fingers, and then kick your right foot back into your left hand. Really nice. Sit off onto your left side. And then use your right hand, reach around and pull it around. Okay, really nice. Does that feel okay coming out of that? Okay, let's do the second side. So we'll do right knee forward. Nice knees squeezed together, maybe even firming up the right hip. And think about wrapping your right hip under a little bit as you push out through your right shin. Then we'll move into this twisted quad, which is a pretty deep stretch for the opposite hip. So your right hip might feel this more. Oh, nice. Maybe make your right finger strong and kick your left foot into your right hand, holding yourself a little bit more open. Really nice. And then release your foot, sit off to your right hip, Reach back, pull it around. All right, let's take the right leg out forward, left foot pulls in. Sirsasana, we're gonna start with a twist to the back. So turn your chest to the left, right hand comes to the left knee, left fingertips on the floor behind the back. And lift your spine up. And play with the leverage you have with your left knee in both of your hands. Now you can use your back leg and your arms to create more leverage to extend. Keep your inner right knee turning down towards the floor, inner right heel, inner right thigh. So you inhale, unwind. Then bring your right hand to the floor and stretch your left arm up and over. You can do this more actively stretching, or you can do this more passively and be more limp. And use your right hand, push yourself all the way back up. Fingers on the floor, long spine. And release. Right foot pulls in, left leg goes out. Turning to the right, left hand on your right knee, right hand behind your back. Push the knee down, push the hips down. Soften the shoulders. Left big toe up to the sky. Inner edge of the left leg turns down to the floor. So you inhale, unwind. Left hand comes down to the floor, right arm comes up and over. And you call in that perspective or attitude of being open. Remaining open and soft. Really nice. Use your left hand, push yourself back up. And then come to lay on your back with a block. You have a block nearby, right? No block? Or a bolster, perfect, yep. Okay, so we're gonna do a supporting bridge. Let's do a few rounds of bridges first. So soles of the feet on the floor, no block yet. Arms can be wherever you'd like them. First, we're just gonna go up to the shoulder bridge. So as you inhale, push into your feet, lengthen your legs away from your hips, lift your hips up. When your hips lift, there's still a lot of weight on your shoulders. And then as you exhale, round your back down. Inhale, lifting up. Exhale, rounding down. Inhale, lifting up. This time do your little walkout in your bridge, pushing one knee away, other knee pulls in as the hip drops. Great, and then come back through center, find your block. I like about the second level. And put it underneath your pelvis so you feel supported. Feeling like in this pose that you're re-energizing the self, that you're using gravity to bring more energy to you instead of all of your energy going out to take care of all the things and people you need to take care of. Feel how this helps direct your energy in. And we're going to do a few acupuncture points. So there's these 4 points on the abdomen that we can get here. So we're going to be circling the belly button. These points all have to do with digestion and where meridian points are. So activating some of the energy of these various organs. So the first one we're going to do is right below the knee hole, about 1 inch or 1.5 inches below the belly button. And I like to use both of my peace fingers from both of my hands. My fingernails touch each other and I push down. Sometimes I'll do like a little circle. I'll do this for about 1 minute. It's activating, you don't need to be too intense. Stimulating this point. And the yoga science says if you can feel your belly button pulse here, that means that your energy is very balanced. So it is very rare that I can feel mine. Okay, and now we're going to go back to the belly button and we're going to go 2 inches about to the right. So that we're looking for the place where the 6-pack abs end and the obliques kind of start. And I just use my right 2 peace fingers here and we're filling into that little trench. And just noticing like if it's sensitive and being gentle. You never want to push too hard because it blocks energy. We're trying to get energy to flow. So this gentle pressure is kind of feeling around. Maybe doing circles. Now going back to the belly button. Now we're going to go up, 2 inches again, and below. We don't want to be on the bone of the ribs, the xiphoid process. We're going up a little bit. You're finding again another little indent. So it's working on the upper organs and the connective tissue that attaches the diaphragm up underneath the rib cage and the upper digestive organs. So noticing any sensations, not labeling it, just being aware, sensitive. And then we're going to go back to the belly button and go over to the left, being at that similar spot where the obliques meet the rectus abdominis, that little crease there. Now we're just going to go around all 4 of those points on your own. So there's the one below the belly button, one to the right, one above, and one to the left. Just making a few circles around. So you alternate through these spots. And once you've finished the last circle of all 4 points, remove your block.
Pull your knees into your belly, rock side to side. You draw your knees in a circle. And we're gonna do happy baby. So reaching up for your feet. Opening one leg and bringing it in, and then opening the other leg. Yes, alternating like this. And now we're gonna do this one leg open and happy baby, but we're gonna make it into a twist. So I'll pull my right heel into my groin, my right hand's on my foot, and then my left foot's gonna cross all the way over to my right and straighten. The foot can be up off the floor, or you can lower it down towards the floor. You should be feeling a stretch on the outer left body. And then come back through center and happy baby. Left heel pulls in, right foot pushes all the way over to the left. It's going back and forth like this for yourself, feeling free to be inspired into slightly different movement. Nice, and coming through center, lift your toes and your feet up to the sky, give them a circle. And then when you feel ready, open your arms and legs for Shavasana, or come upright for a seated meditation. Letting yourself surrender into your own being.
Begin to deepen your breath. Let your breath ripple through your body. Let your breath bring movement to your fingers and toes. Begin to pandiculate, stretch, and move gently back up to your seated posture. Bring your hands up to your heart. Bow your head. Thank yourself for showing up for yourself. Namaste. So I'm wondering, Gina, I wanted to try, let's see, let me turn off the recording.